Hey, welcome to another video from the Outdoor Analyst. Today I've got a really fun one for you. And, since I got the place to myself right now, me and the dog, I figured it is time to do just something fun. And I also get a lot of comments about bark rivers. I've been pretty critical in the past. I just always have to say, it's okay to be critical and love something at the same time. And just from, what I do for a living, I'm critical every day of people, and I still absolutely love them, love their work. And that's how you get better, is by having criticism. So no, I don't hate bark rivers. But I do know they have, a lot of flaws involved in what they do, and I still love them. So here we go. This is going to be, I was going to just say, what are my top 10 bark rivers? I don't know if I could really narrow it down. I definitely couldn't fit them in frame. My little coffee table here does not fit my bark rivers. This year's been interesting. I sold off a ton of stuff, crazy things happening. And then I got jump started by my dad back into bark rivers. So you know what? I'm going to start off with just some of the ones that he's lent me to kind of keep going and enjoy bark river knives. So we'll start off with one of the coolest ones. One of the first ones is going to be the Bark River Bravo 1.25 LT. And this knife, I am pretty sure, is one of my favorite camp knives of all time. I think it's one of the best camp knives out there. The full height convex. It is a little thick, but it comes down to a very thin, slicey edge, like most full height convexes from Bark River do. So it still allows you to do vegetables, food prep, just meat really well. And then fire prep is amazing with this thing. You can actually span and split good amounts of just logs and trees and anything you really need. Honestly, it's kind of one of the best all-around knives out there. So definitely going to be in my top 10. Another one that he handed over to me to kind of jumpstart was my next deer knife this year, and this was the Gunny Hunter in CPM 154. And dear goodness, haha, pun intended, awesome, absolutely love it. This is in green canvas micarta. I normally don't like jimping, but when it comes to sort of deer knives, bring it on, absolutely bring it on. This is perfect for doing all the stuff you need. It's not overly sized for a field dressing knife. Holy crap, this thing's awesome. Great and grippy. I really love this knife. Nice little drop point to it. Fantastic bark river. And I think the fact that the plain micartas, just because, they're gifts from my dad, they're some of my absolute favorite. And I'm still just kind of in shock and thankful because I still got more. This is the Tundra, and it is gorgeous. I made this my main fire knife for most of this year, and I think even last year. So this definitely hits into the top 10. I put this thing through some gnarly wood for the fireplace and for campfires, and it is, I had a little bit of chippiness with 3V, but man, it's probably hitting some crazy amounts of just dirt and madness going through the wood I went through, and sharpened out, no problem. It is an awesome knife. The Aurora handle, fits me like a glove, and with the Canadian blade, man, I'm a fan. I guess I probably enjoy a little more belly to my knives, so that's why I really enjoy this one, but something about it just absolutely kicks butt with wood and just around the camp, and really enjoy this. Along those lines, went with the one that I did not think my hands would fit very well with, is the Canadian, this is the Canadian Special. This is the LT version, which I can't believe this is the LT version because this thing's pretty darn chunky. I love this thing. This became one of my fishing knife this year. Another gift from my dad. Man, thanks, Dad. Pretty awesome. You are ridiculous, and I love you. So there we go. This thing's wicked. I did not think it would fit my hands well, being an extra large hands, but the finger grooves are not intrusive. And for just fishy things, this has been in my tackle box the whole year long. Been through several different states. It's worked on some fish. I kind of thought it'd be a little small, maybe a little thick, but honestly, it's done great. I've loved this knife. This thing's been the coolest thing to have in my tackle box, and I love pulling this sucker out. Okay, running out of space here, so let me put a few of these up. Let's take 1.25 off the table here. Nice treated sheath. Take the gunny out here. And let's move some things up. Okay, that is 4. So, man, are they all going to make the top 10? Not sure, but let's go through them here. The next one was this wicked little Mountaineer 2 in crew wear, which is by far one of the coolest deals. This goes with me every single day at work. This goes in my my briefcase, shoulder bag, sweet little leather shoulder bag. Oh, this thing gets food prep, and for crew wear, gosh darn, it's done great. And I actually took this deer hunting with me every single trip out into the woods and the fields. Love how light it is. It is a chunky monkey. Did not field dress anything with it yet, but really wanted to. I love this knife. It is one of the smaller knives I own, and for being so small, I feel like it's just perfect for the office and ironically perfect for the woods. Be a great squirrel knife, you know, deep pants and squirrels, and just doing that really quick. I think that kind of falls more along the lines of that. Just excellent knife. So those are all kind of the top gifts there that I've been given. Now we'll get into kind of the next set. Now, would they all make the top 10? I know most of them will. I really love these knives. These are so fun just to be in the woods with, be in the fields, be fishing with. I'm a huge fan of these. Oof. Okay. Let's put a few of these up just so we can clear off this coffee table space. I'm not sure these are all the right sheaths that they originally came with, but that's what they live within now. So let's go on to some old school ones. These are just actually a couple that I kept around. About the only 2 I think that I kept. Ultralight Bushcrafter and full-size Bushcrafter. These were just so cool. So cool. I even sold this one and got it back a few years later, which is great. That person didn't put any use on it, which is funny, but I've used this thing a ton. This ULB is super light. It's gone with me backpacking a few times. It's just stupid how light it is. It's not the most, I don't know, confidence-giving knife because it is so thin. Even with a Scandivex, you barely even know. I don't even call this like Scandivex. It's basically a full height grind. It's really close. Not a ton of difference on this just because of how thin it is, how it acts. Great slicey. Use this for tons of food prep. As a bushcrafter, I've taken this knife hunting a ton of times, and that's just a nice handy piece. And whenever you're out in the cornfields, you know, there's just something nostalgic and really cool about having a corn cob handle. This is super cool. These 2 are definitely kind of in my top. And well, let's go over some of the cool pickups that I've got this year. Just kind of on my own, just going for my own personal taste, or knives that I had sold in the past, and I thought, you know what, I do want to get that back in the collection. One of those is going to be this EXT1, Fox River EXT1. This is kind of my first venture into that sheep horn. Really, really cool, really beautiful. I had a Fox River EXT1 on one of the original ones, and I used it as a squirrel knife for a long time. And I sold it just because I didn't really love the handle material, and I went to get another one, and they were totally sold out. And it's taken me a long time to get one back. So this one's in 3V. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having an S45VN one just because it's mostly just blood that I'm dealing with these things. So stainless helps. If you forget about it, you don't have to worry about it. You know, you can come back 2 weeks later and it's not going to have a lot of oxidation. But 3V, you'll probably have some pits at that point. So you just have to be a little more careful. Yes, things get crazy, and I live in the Midwest where everything's wet and humid all the time. So stainless is nice, but this works great. It's still one of my top hunting knives, and just the sheep horn. As soon as I saw it, I had to have it. And then alongside that, whoop, EXT2. Oh my gosh. This is the one knife that has taken me by the most surprise this year. The handle ergonomics of the EXT1. This one's super fat and super perfect for just doing what I need to do field dressing. This thing, but okay, well, I will say, because it is this width, it doesn't actually fit my hand perfectly for like a hammer grip for wood stuff. So this is full on just a game work. It's the XT2. Oh my gosh, they shaped this thing in the best of ways. And it is just gosh darn ridiculous. It is gorgeous, fits my hand like a glove. Perfect for bushcraft, fieldcraft, camp knife. It's kind of like the all-arounder. I'd almost say it's too big and too like tall to be like the perfect whitetail field dresser, but works just fine. No issues with it whatsoever. Oh, guess I should do a watch check. Christopher Ward, the C60 Trident Ombre today. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Love that watch. Sunday, so wear your Sunday best. Love this knife. Definitely in my top 10, probably in my top 5 of all time. One of my top pickups this year. Oh, goodness gracious. This is going to be hard to narrow down. So let's narrow this down to 10. I feel like I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. We'll move this one out of the way. Get it out of frame here. Picked up a Highwayman 3. Picked up a couple of these. This is the only one I kept. Just because it fit my use for this knife the most. It is a lightweight chopper in my mind, even though it's like it's a Bowie, it's a big fighting Bowie essentially. But to me, I wanted kind of a lighter weight chopper that wasn't as heavy as the Shiny Mountain Bowie, that I could take out into the woods and not have it totally just weigh me down. And this thing has gone through a lot of trees. It really has, especially when something's gone down in the yard. Actually, we have a lot of storms here, so a lot of trees go down. This thing has just de-limbed and chopped and gotten fires ready a lot this year. Put it through its paces. A2 is awesome. Don't let anybody ever tell you A2 is not a great steel for fixed blades, because it is baller for the big stuff. And Shiny Mountain Bowie here is kind of its big brother. And this thing chops like a beast. I love it. A2. And yes, I've chopped tons and tons of trees with this thing. Tons of limbs, lots of delimbing. And you know what? 0 full-on chips. 0 chips. And that's kind of rare because, there's usually dirt and all this crap around where I live and stuff gets falling down on the ground. And A2 handles it incredibly well. So these two, definitely top 10. And I'd say probably my newest pickup was this little EDC, Quartermaster EDC. Love this knife. Just did a video on it. Oh my goodness, this thing is freaking fantastic. Tiny, yet it just pumps up into another class. It's a perfect little deer knife. I had this thing hunting with me almost every single day out there. Okay, that's not true. I only took it with me about, I think three trips to the field, but it was still awesome. Still love this thing. Great knife. And man, top 10. Okay. If I really got to put it into a top 10 for this year, that's going to be hard. Well, we got 3 right here. I do love these 3. These 3 have to stay. I absolutely love the XT2. That just has to stay. Man, the Tundra. Tundra is one of my favorite just fire knives of all time. Fits my hand incredibly well. That's got to stay. So we are at 5. Oh, I really couldn't go without the best camp knife out there. I'm going to run out of room. These are going to clash. I don't really care. That's fine. We'll put it right on top. Bravo 1.25 LT. It's just for gosh darn ridiculous. It's too good not to love. Ooh, we're getting down here. We're getting down to the finals. I love this knife. I love the Bushcrafter. I do. It's the old school version. Doesn't have that palm swell, probably because it is the corn cob, so they couldn't do that. And it was before they ended up doing that new version anyway. I love this knife. It's just so much fun to have out in the field, and you can do anything with it. Field dress with it, do a little firework, do a little food prep. Splits a little more than you'd think, but it's pretty awesome still. Ooh, we're at 7. Ooh, we're at 7. Okay, number 8. Ooh, pushing it. I love this knife. I love the Gunny Hunter. Holy crap. Ergonomically, it feels like it should be too small for my hands, but for what it's meant to do, it's just like a glove. It fits me perfectly. This is what I was meant to field dress Bambis with. Absolutely love it. Oof. You know what? I just have full confidence in this thing. So, okay, there we go. Number 8 right there. Hot dang. I love the rest of these. These are awesome. Man, it's pushing it. So here we go. Here's the competition. ULB, Fox River EXT1. Oh, I love those. Oh man, okay. Which one am I gonna go with here? We also have the Canadian Special LT. This has been one of my favorites. This has been absolutely one of my favorites. Oh, can I even squeeze that in there? Maybe I can. Oh, and then also the Mountaineer 2. Ooh, it's gone to work with me just about every day. Every day, and I've only got 2 to go. Whew. Man, I'm gonna take sentimentality out of it. Okay, so sentimental. Little knives though. My passion, I think, goes in the medium-sized knives. So EXT1, medium and large. That's just I gotta go with that. That's number 9. Number 9. So that leaves me right now with these 3 to go. And if I went sentimentality, man, I'd probably just stick with the ULB. It's so useful. It would also kind of round out, you know, a small EDC backpacker knife, which then it pushes into the crew air, which is just freaking insane over here. This thing's just a tank. But okay, dang it, I don't know. There's something about this right now. 2021 top 10 Canadian Special LTs going in. Ooh, you know, I could interswap any one of these at any point in time, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. They're all just amazing. So there we go. There's my top 10 favorite Bark Rivers. I guess I should get this out of frame. For 2021. These are amazing knives. I'm not going to get it overly hypercritical. I've got reviews on most of these. There's issues with all of them. I'll probably do some Fox River EXT 1 and 2 reviews. They're just freaking hunter-esque. And I guess with Jason Thorne from DLT is I think the co-designer for these, or creator, idea behind them. Either way, freaking love those knives. I'm glad to have them. Have an EXT1 back. Glad to have an EXT2. Actually, this is my second EXT2. I didn't love the first one. I always felt at the time it was a little too big, but you know, I'm going after a bigger game these days, and going multi-state for hunting. So it is just it's nice to have that ability to go a lot bigger for field dressing. So, man, okay, that's my thought process. These are my top 10. You can't go wrong with any of these. They're absolutely amazing. As long as you get a good quality control one, holy cow. So there we go. This might be one of my longest videos. Hope you had fun kind of helping me narrow it down in my own mind of what is just awesome. These are just awesome. I could live with one of these for the rest of my life and probably be happy for just having that be my only fixed blade. So there we go. Hope you all have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and yeah, catch me on the next one.